This is Gerald Hohen van Waas and the educational channel related with the book Sound in Form. And this is a book which is also called Methodical Synesthesia, and it is about the natural mechanism of with which you can choose letters and sound combinations unconsciously, but you can also learn it. So you can learn to change letters into forms that you can recognize immediately what the words are about and the underlying meanings of them. It's a complete the complete study is in book 1, the volume 1, the development of the word. It's also quite cheaply if you would buy an e-book. And the application of the word is more the study with references to several scripts in the world. It's available at Trafford Publications, and in Europe you can also buy it at Amazon and so on. My goal is in the next couple of videos that you learn gradually the deliberate synesthesia, which I chose as a term because it has to develop spontaneously, that you can recognize the combinations of what you hear and what you can see. And I will give you some examples in this video, and here I will gradually give you some examples that you might learn gradually to recognize also the sounds and how the combinations are done with the sounds, so that you have a controlled associative and adaptive sensibility of such a sensitivity that I associated with synesthesia, even though synesthesia has such a negative connotation because it's a spontaneous and it almost is seen as a condition. In this way, in this example of how I see it, it's not a condition, it is a kind of talent to see the things, and it's something that you can learn, but it is a sensitivity. So in that way it's not a rational thing that you learn, although you can use your irrationality, you can associate irrationality. The basics also has to find a foundation in the sensibility. It's like you learn to dance, you can have to learn all the patterns, but once you want to become a good dancer, it has to be adapted into another sensory organ than in the rationality. You have to feel it, you have to sense it, and you feel it into your movement itself, your ability. I can't think of the right words in that in English right now, but it is comparable. It's a completely different organ with which you can understand it, but you can learn it. I have 3 examples in English with some associations to other words, and 1 example in Dutch. Fish, arm, ant and KRANS. We'll start with fish. Of course we will have to start from the letter F, and the F I already explained. You can see it as a kind of frictional, fragmented noise with random directions, and in a way they are confrontations. So that's why it's best, if you want to express it like this, they are like 2 verticals next to each other. There is a tendency of confrontation and of direction, because it is trying to find a direction. So this F is trying to connect, and it has a random choice where you can connect. With the next letter, the E, I have to place some dynamic focuses. So the E's are placed there in the F's, and with the sh at the end, the sh is the effect which comes out of the feet which I have there. The sh is the effect which is enlarged, and with the H in it, it is enlarged in space and it deals with space. So it is in fact like the fish in the water, getting effect. It is a very vague description of what you can see, but it is actually how you can sense what fish is. So with the water effects behind the fishes, it is comparable to how you sense fish, and this in sound, and the sound is doing exactly how the fishes are moving, and the forms fit with them as well. So you have the F, so you pick a distinction within the noise. There's a distinctive difference that you can see where the fish is, and it has of course its effect and its spatial dynamics. That's the fish. So it is simply the pattern recognition of all of its movement and the notice point where the fish appears, and that's how the fish is described. Next example, arm. The arm, I immediately designed this form when I deal with the M, the A and the R, and I will explain. The A upon the R upon the M. So this is the arm. When I deal with the complete range of M, I will again explain what the range of M is. The M can have a kind of dynamic rhythm even, and it is expanding, and the focus is on the expanding, on the part that expands. So it is in fact, like you see, it expands from within to the outside. If I would focus also on the outer effect there within a rhythm, then I come also to the another letter, the G, which is because also it is filling in the space of M within a rhythm and in a cloudy form here in this way, so it fits with the G completely. And then I have, of course, already the first association with another word, especially with these dynamics that I expressed there, and that's the word gem. The gem is the G of the moving dynamics of material form with expansion outwardly, as you can see in the word gem. But we don't need this word. We were focusing on arm, which was on the rounding movement at the outside, so it is there. But we also follow this rhythm if you would like. So we adapt a little bit to this rhythm. This rhythm can also move the arm somewhere else. The arm is expressed with letters as arm, but in English it is arm. It is a little bit more arm, is a little bit going towards the O, so the dynamics going outwardly are a little bit larger. As you can see, with arm it is a little bit larger outwardly. The O is always connecting to the environment and the space around the objects. The armen or arms in Dutch, the armen is connecting the arms more thoroughly, let's say. The strangest thing is with the Dutch word arm, it is not like arm. It is you can have a different connotation of course also, because arm will focus mainly on the A, and the A is mainly the middle part, and so the effect that can go inwardly is slightly larger than the English word, which is with the different sound, which has the tendency that you can go outwardly a little bit more quickly. It is a bit strange, but in English, arm is it can be arms, of course. Yeah, that's another word. Arm is and arm are the same words, but arm also means poor, and that is not immediately clear why, but I will explain it by analyzing the signification of the structure that you can see here. And even if you can go in different directions, inwardly, outwardly, it is in fact a tool that is depending on the outside, on the extensions. So in that way, it is not completely explainable why arm is a poverty, but it is, of course, the poor people are depending on the expansions that are somewhere outside, but it's not I don't think it's 100% explainable in this way. You can always find an explanation if you really would like to, but both words are connected with the depending connections that you see there, and they are with arms. Of course, it will show its effects. Arms is actually also a different word, which you know as well. It has a different signification. You know, arms, and it has the same structure again with a totally different meaning, seemingly. And I say seemingly because here also the arms, which was a tool, as I said, it now will go towards a dynamic effect outwardly, and with the arms you can also have a dynamic effect outwardly, but in both ways the arms will succeed to show its effect starting from its attached function. It's this attachment, this dependency on the expansions that is actually the underlying meaning in sound. And if you think about it twice or thrice or with force, you will understand what it means. Just repeat what I just put it on repeat what I said, and then you will understand the sound meanings work through in all these significations. It is a bit more a difficult one, but it will do. And now, if I design and, I come to a very simple design. It's the A is the form, it's the object, the N is the content which is appearing there, and the T is a distinction which is 1/3 in the form in the vertical way, so I designed it there. But it's around the A, so the and I can also make it a little bit more dynamic and make it also symmetric, so that's no problem. But even then, and if I simply design it with letters, it does not fit with the word. So what did I do wrong? And I did do something wrong, because for the reality of the application, you always have to deal with how the word sounds as well. The and as letters is the structure on which the form is based. If the sounds are different, you have to make an extra dynamism or emphasis and change the same connection, but change it slightly so that it will fit to the application. And this so with the A extension, I will deal with these kind of extended impulses, because the sound of A is exactly that. And also, if I think about how I would deform the form to make it fit, the R has always this foundation within the symmetrical form. The A will not have the symmetrical form, will have the extension outwardly. So that's what I will deal with as well. If I adapt these and letters with the A extensions, and with the N, so inwardly to the form, then I will get a form more or less like this. This is an example of where I can get. Let's look up some examples on the internet, how greatly it will fit or not. I immediately found a form on the internet and I thought, yeah, this is almost exactly as I designed it. And I found another one, which is this one, which is still fitting quite well, I would say. Yes, it will fit because I found the pattern. That's the pattern of "and," the way how it sounds and how it has been written. Last example is the Dutch word KRANS, is all the wreath. It's what you can put on your head as in a kind of celebration way, or you can, yeah, you give it someone to remember someone when someone has died. You also give this thing and put it on the grave of someone. That is also what you do sometimes. It can be like a crown, but it's like a crown of remembrance of a crown or of someone who's like a celebration. That's actually how it is used. KRANS then, but KRANS can also be something that has been around your neck. But most of the times it is associated with a kind of remembrance thing. So let's see if I can recognize it, but I will mostly focus on the form, of course. How can we form it and how can we recognize a form into the object that exists? So we have the letters here. The K is the breaking point, the R the turning and connecting point, the A the object, the N the inner content, the S the dynamic effect. I always explain these things slightly with different words, but it's always the same thing. So if I combine them, the first couple of letters are quite easy to combine. So KRAAN, here I have them. So the K, the R, and the N. So it is actually very easy to connect these letters. Now KRAAN immediately remind me of this Dutch word with a double A, the kraan. So let's first see if this already fits into this pattern. KRAAN has two different meanings which have nothing to do with each other, and let's see if both things fit with this pattern. Crane and tap are the signification of KRAAN. So let's again look up an example on the internet. So I will look up the first KRAAN or tap, and this is the one. And I will look up another one, the KRAAN as a crane, and that's the one. Both of these forms fit actually quite well with the form, but not only that, also with the content. Because what is the content in both of these objects that seemingly are completely different applications? In sound significations, they are the same things. So we have a breaking or turning point of K with a movement or R of a content of N, and this over a certain distance, or the double A, as an object, of course, as well. So an object with a certain length. Or a length, it's also a length of before you have this activity as well. What is a tap then? Yeah, it has a breaking or turning point, a movement, a movement here with the tap there that you can open and close it, of a content then as well, which you can also, both of these objects, you can move the content by choice even, if you do that, so by applying to it or not applying to it, which is also quite funny that in a way these two words are actually in sounds have the same underlying meaning and structure. But KRANS has an extra letter, KRAAN, so the KRAAN thing has to be applied to the S, or has the effect of S. So I will apply to the S because that's most easy.
So I will try to fit it into the S effect. So because the effect has to be the S. So let's add the KRAAN, KRAAN, KRAAN to the S. But actually I do something wrong, because the KRAAN, the A is a middle word. It means that I have to design everything around a middle. And this middle point has to be in the N form. So the N is the content form, and the content is not exactly in the middle, but somewhere in the volume of the middle. So where is it? It is in this space that I have to have the N form. The N form is there, and the S can be applied there. What do I get then when I do that? I have, of course, with the KRAAN, the KRANS at the end. So the KRANS is exactly what it should be if I apply it to the object that we already know. And if I look up the word on the internet with a random object that presents it, with a design that represents it, not a photograph, so design is better. Then I have this very old one, and you can see indeed the K is the breaking point, and the RANS is the different times that you have you try to connect around a middle into the S form around a circle, more or less, as you can see. I didn't explain the content yet, but the form from the object is in fact greatly fitting. I hope you enjoyed it again. Hope to give more examples soon. I hope to have to give some examples every week. So this was for this week. Anyhow, thanks for watching. This was again Gerald Johan van Was, and the theory you can find in the book. Actually, if you want to think it is too expensive, there are very cheap ebooks available from the development of the word and the application of the word, so go ahead. Anyhow, thanks for watching. This was Gerald Johan van Was. Subscribe to the YouTube channel if you want to learn what I'm talking about. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.